Hi, everybody. I'm Linda Braun, and I'm the YALSA CE consultant, and I'm here with Candace Mack, who's going to be talking about the pre-conference she's doing at the YALSA Symposium. Welcome, Candace. Before you start on telling us about the pre-conference, tell us a little bit about where you work, excuse me, what you do there, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yes, I'm Candace Mack. I'm the Senior Librarian of System-Wide Team Services at the Los Angeles Public Library. We're the city system. We have our central library in downtown LA and 72 branches all over the city of Los Angeles. And yeah, I'm super excited about the YALSA Symposium in general, and also the pre-conference on teen leadership and civic engagement in libraries. Joining me in the pre-conference is going to be a couple of folks from our Teens Leading Change initiative, which we launched in the fall of 2017. Right now, we're just wrapping up cycle 3 of that initiative. And what it is it's a program where we encourage our teen volunteers / teen advisory board members from our different branches to work with their teen services librarians to choose an issue or topic in the community that they want to research and explore more, and to apply basically for a mini grant to help fund not only that research and exploration, but implementing whatever they decide to do sort of in reaction to their research and exploration of the topic, and also sharing out. So there's the 3 main pieces of it: research and exploration, implementation, and sharing out. And most of the time, those 3 aspects overlap. So yes, it launched in fall of 2017. We're on our 3rd cycle. We have almost 20 projects that have been implemented across 24 branches. And so 2 of the other speakers from my library system are folks who are the boots on the ground who implemented it at their branches. Also, part of the pre-conference are going to be Megan Malloy and other folks from Teen HQ at the San Jose Public Library. They are going to be talking about their civic engagement program, which is more tech-oriented, actually. There's lessons that the students take online to learn more about civics and civic engagement. And then also there's going to be folks from YALSA's 22 by 20 campaign, and they're going to be talking about ways that library staff can encourage tween and teen participation in civic engagement and voting in the upcoming year.
So can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing at the pre-conference and what people can expect?
Sure. So we're going to be modeling, definitely things from the Future of Teens and Libraries report. That was actually a lot of what, a lot of how the initiative kind of came to be in terms of connect and learning, really tapping into what teens were and are interested in, especially in the wake of all of these student protests and demonstrations in the past couple of years. We've always known that teens have that energy and that passion. So it's really for us about tapping into that and encouraging that, and sort of using mentors and guides to help fund sort of the leveling up of turning that energy and passion into action. And so we're gonna do some icebreakers, just to sort of like tap into what folks remember being passionate about, and maybe still are passionate about, right? When they were teens, to think about some of those topics that, because I feel like a lot of folks, that things that they're interested even now, probably like in terms of social justice and action, oftentimes there may have been a genesis like when they were teens, like environmentalism and climate change, or just, I remember as a kid, like even in elementary school at some point, like there was like the subject matter was like marine biology, and then and oceans, and then suddenly like everyone in class wanted to be a marine biologist. And there were some who like stuck with that, some people didn't, they moved on to other things, but I mean that type of, like I said, passion and energy, and sort of recreating some of those conversations, those early conversations, because we found that seems to be one of the biggest challenges, kind of making that switch from, say, doing crafts and other fun things to having more topical and deeper conversations about what's happening in the community, right? Like, it's not really something that works when you try to just spring it, like, oh, hey, we're like making lava lamps, and what do you feel about homelessness, right? Like, that's not a great transition. It will probably cause people to just freeze up. So kind of doing some exercises around that, and then also talking about some of the ways in which we helped train our staff to get more comfortable like in that role of a guide. And with that, like, we actually did a system-wide training earlier this year, and we pulled in folks from different nonprofits as well as other library systems. So just encouraging people that like it's something that's been on a lot of folks' minds, both inside and outside of the library, and that, you know, none of us are alone in terms of trying to encourage our teens to lead in this way.
It seems like you'll give people really practical advice and opportunities to try some of this out before they go back, because it is hard to have those conversations, right? I loved when you said, hey, let's make lava lamps and talk about homelessness. How do you make that transition to deeper conversation? So that really sounds fantastic. So what would you say, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but what would you say to someone like when they leave this pre-conference, what's one thing they should be able to do pretty quickly afterwards? Do you have any thought about that?
Yeah, well, hopefully have some of those conversations with their teams, you know, just to start the wheels turning about what is happening in the community that folks are seeing and wanting to either make a change with. And by that, I like, you know, we always try to say it's not necessarily something negative that's happening in the community. You know, there's so much that's positive that's happening in our communities that maybe people don't know about. So, you know, encouraging people to not necessarily frame it in the negative, you know, all the time. And also to encourage people, I mean, we're fortunate enough that through our library foundation, we're able to get, we do have funding, but that's not, I would say, necessarily, while it's a great perk, like it's not necessarily a must-have, I would say, and especially in terms of starting that conversation and then having more conversations around getting local funding like involved as well. So hopefully people can have those conversations and take back some practical advice as to how to get organizations hopefully in their community to help sponsor it. Because we found, knock on wood, that people are really excited about the project and the idea of encouraging and mentoring teens in the community and helping to fund that, whether it's through just like refreshments, because our program, the reason why there's cycles is because the Library Foundation actually only funds the initial project, but many of the projects have continued on, and they found their own funding and support through their friends group or local organizations. So even without the Library Foundation funding, it's possible to help the teens make these positive changes in their community.
That's great. Thank you. That's fantastic. So I want to remind everybody, I just opened up my browser to make sure I could tell everybody the exact right information. So this is a pre-conference on civic engagement at the YALSA Symposium on Friday, November 1st from 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to noon. And on this video, I'll put up a link as we're saying this. It sounds like it's going to be a really great experience. And what a good way to get started with the symposium, right, is to have this really interesting pre-conference that you can go back and implement some, at least the conversations to start right afterwards. So anything else, Candace, you think you'd like everyone to know about the pre-conference?
No, I'm just really excited to be joining everyone in Memphis. I hope everyone is able to join us for the pre-conference. You know, I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now and in our nation. And I think a lot of people, like teens included, or teens especially, are thinking about that. And so I think it's a really great opportunity to, like I said, harness that passion and energy and help them save the world. So, because it certainly kind of needs some saving right now on many levels. And so I feel like anything that we can do to help support that in our little way and celebrate that in Memphis just sounds like an awesome opportunity and time. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Well, thank you, Candace. It's like I said, it sounds really great, and I think that what you just said about giving teens the opportunity to change the world and to think about where their passions and interests lie and how to make change in their communities. And it's not even necessarily just change; it's like how to build communities and look at the assets in communities and build off of those. So thank you so much for talking with me about it.